Hello and welcome into McClain Gymnasium here in Greenfield, Ohio on this Thursday, January the 21st. We have a tri-meet on the wrestling mats this evening as McClain will play host to the Indians of Hillsboro along with the Bearcats of Paint Valley. Both wrestling programs here this evening represented from nearby schools, and we're excited to bring this action to you. Tonight is also senior night, and so if you heard the announcements come through the PA. Not sure what that sounded like, but we will begin our senior festivities here in about 5 minutes. So if you are watching and maybe there's someone who might be at home, maybe a loved one, family member, friend, whoever it might be that wants to take part in this stream, feel free to share if you're on our McClain Athletic Department Facebook page. We're also live on YouTube. We know that platform might be a little bit easier for folks to stream to like a device such as a television, through a smart TV or whatever it might be. If YouTube is more your style, you can flip over to YouTube and search for McClain Athletics. That's the channel that we are under. So if you are wanting to watch through that social media outlet, we are live on there as well. Once again, we'll have senior night festivities starting in just a few minutes. I'll be with you here all night. We'll try to keep things as informative as we can. We'll tell you kind of what's going to happen in terms of the order of things on the mat shortly. But for right now, we're going to go silent and just let you listen to the atmosphere before we start with our senior night festivities. Thanks so much for joining us, and feel free to share. As you may have just heard, we will have our seniors recognized here on the McClain side of things. And so that will be happening shortly. They're making their way to the lobby for lineups. So we'll bring you those as soon as they are ready for that. We expect that to take place in just a couple minutes. Once again, if you are joining us here this evening, we want to say first thank you for joining us. We will be live all evening long with you here on this tri-meet between McClain, Hillsboro, and Paint Valley, bringing you all the action between not only the high school level, but also the junior high wrestlers as well from each school. So we have our senior night festivities coming up shortly, and we'll have the action on the mats just after that. Thank you once again for joining us. Please make sure if you're watching us here on Facebook or on YouTube, feel free to share with anyone who might want to take part, whether that's a family friend or maybe a family member, or just someone who's a supporter of these athletes here from either McClain, Hillsboro, or Paint Valley. If you are someone who wants to share that out, feel free to hit the share button or send a link to those that might want to watch as well at home. So thanks once again for joining us. We'll have our seniors being recognized shortly.
Welcome to McClain High School and our senior night for our wrestlers. Tonight, McClain High School would like to welcome you to tonight's senior night festivities. Tonight, we honor the commitment of our seniors and their parents to McClain High School and the winter season programs, as well as their accomplishments so far. Before we meet our seniors, we would first like to recognize the seniors from Hillsboro High School and Paint Valley High School. For Paint Valley, Sean Stewart and Nick Mills. For Hillsboro High School, Scott East and Isaac Lewis. Now, let's meet our McClain High School class of 2021. Lucas Jansen. Lucas is being escorted by his mother, Kelly Jansen, and stepfather, Melvin Emmel. After graduation, Lucas plans to go to the armed forces as he has enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. Justin Kegley. Justin is being escorted by Eric Kegley and Beth Kegley, his father and mother. After graduation, Justin plans to go to the armed forces as he has enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. Cade Rollins. Cade is being escorted by his mother, Cammie Brown, and his brother, Keegan Rollins. Upon graduating from McClain, Cade is undecided on his future plans. One more time for our seniors, Lucas, Justin, and Cade. On behalf of the Board of Education and administration of Edward Lee McClain High School, we would like to welcome you to McClain Gymnasium for tonight's contest featuring our guests, the Indians of Hillsboro High School, the Bearcats of Paint Valley High School, and of course your Fighting Tigers of McClain High School. In order to make today's contest as enjoyable as possible, please represent your school and community in a positive and respectful manner. That means follow the rules, speak and act responsibly, show courtesy and respect for your fellow fans,
And so we join you once again here as we are able to recognize the seniors this evening. Justin Kegley, Lucas Jansen, and Cade Rollins, seniors being recognized on the McClain side of things. As they get a couple things underway here in-house, I'll give you kind of an indication of how we're going to run things this evening. We've got 2 mats that you'll see. We'll get them up on the screen both for you. The main mat in the center of your screen will be the high school mat. Sounds like we got the national anthem here, so we'll go quiet for just a moment as they play the national anthem. All right. So once again, we are here in McClain Gymnasium. We say thank you for joining us this evening. We're excited to bring you the action that will be on the mats here. We'll go ahead and get everything set up once again to have both mats in frame. So I was kind of explaining before we cut there for the anthem for just a little bit. We're going to have 2 mats this evening. The center mat will be the high school mat. That's the darker colored mat in the main part of your screen. And then in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, you'll notice kind of a brighter purplish color mat, and that will be the junior high wrestlers. We will be commentating the matches taking place here. I do not have a roster in front of me, so I'll be able to tell most of the McClain athletes, but I unfortunately am going to be unable to give to you any of the names for the other athletes. They've not supplied me with a weigh-in roster as of yet. So I do apologize for that. Maybe they'll bring one up here before too long, maybe not. But we will keep score of what's taking place on the mats, and we'll have that down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Actually, we'll go ahead and just bring that up now for you. So the scoreboard will look as follows. The wrestler with the green ankle indicator will be obviously the green. In the red, we have our red ankle indicator. As the officials score those on the high school side of things, we will update those. The number that you see off to the side, it'll be either 1, 2, or 3 for the first, second, or third period. We're able to get a little bit of the sliver of the clock here, or the scoreboard, in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. So if you're looking for time, that should be the time remaining here in the match. It may be delayed by a millisecond or 2, but it shouldn't be too far off. So we will have that for you and be commentating each of the matches here on the high school side of things in this tri-meet between the Tigers of McClain, the Indians of Hillsboro, and the Bearcats of Paint Valley. We say thank you for joining us once again. We'll let the referee explain what's going on the mats with the team captains. And other than that, we're excited to have you here. Once again, share and share alike if you have anyone who'd like to join us here on Facebook or on YouTube. Just search for McClain Athletics, and they can find this live stream. Thank you once again. We'll be back with the action. So it does look like we have a little bit of word here from Coach Bivens on the McClain side of things as to how things are going to run this evening. We're going to get our first matches underway in just a moment. The first matches for tonight will take place between Paint Valley and Hillsboro, so that will be the first round of things. So those on the Indian side and those on the Bearcat side will be taking the mat first. We'll get all of the forfeits underway for the weight classes that will not be contested, and then we'll have action on the mats. Once again, we will go ahead and score along with commentate every match. We'll go ahead and try to adjust slightly to see if we can get a little bit more of the scoreboard here for you. I try too much. Sorry about that. A little finicky here. My apologies on that. Just trying to make sure we keep the lower portion of the screen intact for you so that we're able to have as much of the scoreboard time showing as possible. We know that if any action takes place here around the 6 to 7 o'clock area on the mat as we look at it, that we might get a little bit toward that end. If there is a takedown toward the edge of the mat or something along those lines where points are scored, we will try to let you know as best possible because it may be slightly out of frame there. But once again, just trying to make sure that you guys can see as much of the clock here as possible on the scoreboard in the upper right-hand corner. So forfeits taking place right now in this first round between Hillsboro and Paint Valley. Once again, we do not have any rosters that have been given to us from any of the squads. We do know the McClain wrestlers that'll be participating. Maybe they'll send something up to us here shortly, but we're unaware of what's taking place otherwise. So looks like we will have our first match here. Not sure the weight class, but it will be Paint Valley and Hillsboro going at it here in this first. And I believe it looked like on this, Paint Valley will be on the green side of things, even though they are not wearing the indicators here. So a stalemate right now as both have the leg, no one really with the takedown. And they go ahead and break. Now they come back together. Once again, hand on the elbow, hand on the head in that kind of tie-up position. And they break once again. They'll come back, center circle. Dancing now, a little bit of a shot here. Looks like a double leg taken here, and Hillsboro will be the red side of things. So Hillsboro will be on the red side of things, and they get 2 points from the takedown there. Very nice double leg. Now working from the back. Paint Valley wrestler gets to his knees in that down position, reaching around trying to get the wrist control, but unable to as the Hillsboro wrestler. He just cuts him loose. So Paint Valley will get the benefit of the escape there, gaining a point for that. We have our action underway on the junior high side of things. Once again, Paint Valley and Hillsboro taking part in that first round as well in this tri-match for both the junior high and the high school. On the high school side of things, Paint Valley with the black singlets. On the junior high side of things, they have a little bit more of the gold singlet with the black striping. Hillsboro with the red and white singlets for both. And it'll be Hillsboro getting another takedown here, so that'll bring it to 4-1 now, your score. And the first period comes to a close as Hillsboro gets the benefit of 2 takedowns and 4 points as a result. One escape goes to the Paint Valley wrestler there, so the Bearcats trail right now by 3 going into the second period in this first action on the match this evening. And if you're watching, if you're in the comment section and you do know some of the names of the participants here in the high school matches, please do let us know. Would be more than happy to get that out. Be a reversal here as Hillsboro is in the down position, was able to reverse and gain control now. And it looks like he looks to cut him loose, but does not break contact. But stays in, so the action continues and will cut him loose on the edge of the circle there. So now 2-6, the lead for Hillsboro. It goes for a single leg, but too far out on the bottom edge of the circle and just in frame. So I think we're going to be okay with our shot here. Back to the center now, neutral position. Tie up once again. And bulldozing over as they go to the mat is the Hillsboro wrestler, so he'll gain another 2 points. It looks like actually I've missed one there, so we'll bounce it up to 10-2, our score now. So 10-2 the lead now for Hillsboro in this first action on the mats this evening. Second period, 35 seconds left. The buzzer in-house goes, not sure what for. We do have a warning on red now, so the first warning for a stall going against Hillsboro. And Paint Valley will be in the down position. So Hillsboro with the 8-point lead here in the second, 25.8 on the clock as we read it here in-house. Now it'll be 10-3 as the point is gained for the warning there. So 10-3, a 7-point deficit now, under 20 seconds. Shot from the Hillsboro wrestler, continuing to drive those legs from the mat. Neutral positioning, under 10 now. 6, 5, 4, as it ticks down here. We'll end the second period, and we're no closer than what we were. Neutral as we end, and we'll go into the third period here, 10-3 on the high school mat. Once again, action taking place on the junior high mat between Paint Valley and Hillsboro. Once again, Paint Valley in the gold singlets with the black kind of striping. And on the Hillsboro side for the junior high side of things, red singlets with the white belt around the waist. Nice job there by the Paint Valley wrestler. Able to gain control, gets 2 points, brings it to 5-10 now here in the third. He's got some work to do, but he has some time to do it. 1:25 on the clock in-house now. And escape now to Hillsboro as he's able to stand up and kind of twirl away from the action there. Now looks to have a front headlock, spinning around, trying to gain control, but breaks it. Now Paint Valley with a leg. Both wrestlers down. Paint Valley going to get 2 for the takedown as he gains control. Brings it to 7-11 now in-house, under a minute. Actually 54, now make that 45 seconds on the clock. So now escape once again to Hillsboro, 7-12. 5-point deficit, 35 seconds on the clock. Paint Valley's got some work to do. He's going to have to get a takedown and some back points or try to get the pin here in the last 30 seconds. Just both wrestlers very tired, so it's going to have to be a quick burst of energy by the Paint Valley wrestler if he's going to want to get these points and get the victory here. Hillsboro just trying to evade. Neutral now. Hillsboro trying to get the points, and he does for the takedown as he spins around to the back and controls. Now 7-14. That will probably do it unless something changes here in the last 5 seconds. And we take down 3, 2, 1, and done here in this first match on the high school side of things for the night. It'll be Hillsboro picking up the victory. Regular decision, 14-7 in this first matchup of the night. So we'll reset our scoreboard here for both sides, and we'll look to see what our next match on the mats will be between the Indians and the Bearcats. And it looks like we will have a match. Once again, Paint Valley in the black, Hillsboro in the red and white singlets. Looks to be a middleweight matchup here. Probably somewhere around the 170 side of things. And Hillsboro circles around, gains control, and will get 2 points for the takedown. Now working from a position, looks like an underhook. Now pushing down, so not content to hold that underhook. Paint Valley looking to circle around, and he will get now control, gets the reversal, I should say. So he gets the reversal, now back to neutral, stand-up position here, center of the circle. Both wrestlers gaining a couple points, and we actually have the extra point for the escape, so not only the escape but the reversal. So 3-2 now, the lead for Paint Valley. Nice shot there by the wrestler from Paint Valley, going for the single leg, grabs the left, hooks in, gets that 2 points for the takedown on that single leg. Now sits at, should be 5-2. And they've got 4-3 in-house. So we'll set it at what they have. So we'll go 4-3, perhaps maybe assigning some points where they did not mean to. Now they give 2 points to Paint Valley, having control on the top, working from behind. Hillsboro to the knee, but too much arm control on the upper body. Now able to push that left arm over. Now trying to muscle the shoulder. Has the head pinched against the hip and will get the pin. So Paint Valley comes back and gets a pin, and that'll be 6 points for the Bearcats here in this try. So congratulations goes to that young man from Paint Valley here in the first period, getting the victory by way of pinfall. Once again, first round will be all Hillsboro and Paint Valley, and then the next 2 rounds will be a mixture between McClain and Hillsboro and McClain and Paint Valley. Not sure which order, but we'll see as we get things underway on the mats. But right now, it'll be Bearcats and Indians going at things. And now we have our third high school match of the evening. Once again, in those kind of middle to upper weights. Very tall, I don't want to say very tall, but tall wrestlers on both sides for both the Indians and the Bearcats. Paint Valley with a front headlock, but lets it go. Now reaches over and tries to get wrist control on the right. Hillsboro able to get a shot and will get lift and get the takedown. So 2 points goes to the red side of things for the Indians. Now controlling on top, looking to turn that upper arm, getting back points now. The official counts them off. Probably, we're going to look probably at 3 back points, I'm going to assume at this point. And it doesn't matter because the back points will go toward a pinfall for the Indians. So they get a pinfall back. Back-to-back matches go by way of pin. First match was won on points. 14-7 went to the Indians, and the last 2, the Bearcats and the Indians, split by way of pinfall. So right now, Hillsboro leading the way on the team side of things, but we haven't had any action from the purple and gold tonight either, so we'll see what happens here overall. And we'll get 2 points quickly as a takedown and 1 point for the escape to Hillsboro. So real quick action here in this first period. Nice job on the hip throw there by Hillsboro, and it looks like he'll have the control, trying to push the shoulders over. Has the right arm, riding a little bit high, but he's got his hips well centered. Trying to press down. Paint Valley throwing the hips over, trying to kind of carry the shoulder with him, but he's unable to get that right shoulder up, so he tries to throw the hips the other way. Might put himself in a bad position, though. Has the underhook, does the Indian here on the top. Riding high once again. Might find himself in trouble if the Bearcat can get to his knees. He does get to his knees, but once again, that underhook helping Hillsboro out quite a bit. Now lowers his hips. If he can put his left arm on the shoulder, he can force him down, but that underhook, once again, getting in the way. If he can stretch out that arm and push down on that left shoulder, he might have the pin, as he's got the other side, the other shoulder pretty well taken care of. All he has to do is put the weight on that left, but he's got the underhook. He's kind of fighting against himself here. First period, drawing toward the close, 5 seconds, now 4, 3, 2, a lot of energy expelled. He'll get some back points. It'll be 3 back points to the wrestler from Hillsboro, so he'll have 6 as the first period ends, but a lot of energy expelled there. We'll see how much gas he has left in the tank here in these next 2 periods if it comes to that. So we'll move into the second period now, 2-6, as the Indians and the Bearcats in this first round of this tri-match go at things. And Paint Valley in the down position. Hillsboro has the up. Wrestler from the Bearcats is able to stand up, both arms around the waist. And he lifts. He'll get a technical violation for the hold and the lift there. Had both hands around the waist. So a point goes to the Paint Valley side of things. Now 3-6. Paint Valley will once again be in the down position. And looks like the wrestler from Hillsboro with maybe a, not really sure if it's a contact issue or it looks like possibly a little bit of a bloody nose there. And it will be a bloody nose, so they'll go ahead and get some cotton jammed up in there. Once again, as we take a little bit of a break here, we say thank you for joining us here this evening. If you're with us on the McClain Athletic Facebook page here, we say thank you for joining us there. Or if you are on YouTube, we know we have a few folks joining us here on YouTube. We say thanks for joining us through that platform as well. If you or someone you know would like to join us throughout the evening, maybe you have somewhere to go, but you'd like to join us a little bit later as this tri-match will be going on to the conclusion, feel free to search us out once again here on Facebook or on YouTube. Or if someone else that might want to watch through either platform is sitting at home as well, and you would like to go ahead and share this with them, just hit that share button, and we would be happy to have them join us here as well. Glad to bring you the product that we're able to here this evening for wrestling here. It's not only a tri-meet, but it's also senior night. So a little bit later, if you want to play back the beginning part of our broadcast, a few minutes in, we did have our seniors recognized, and we do have an illegal hold. It'll be a full Nelson type hold, and the official very quick to blow the whistle on that. So it'll be now 4 points as Hillsboro getting the violation there for the illegal hold. Has the half, now lets it go, and Paint Valley will get the escape. Now back to neutral, and looks like the Hillsboro wrestler once again, blood, probably still that same right nostril. So we'll have some more blood time here. And so they'll get things taken care of there. Once again, 5-6 now. Hillsboro's had a lot of control in this particular match. Don't have names right now for who's taking part. Looks like to be middle to upper weights, possibly around that Might be around that, we'll say, maybe in the 180 area. I'm not really sure. That's just eyeballing things. So Hillsboro with quite a bit of control there, but also having a little bit of trouble here as the right nostril seems to be giving some fits with some blood coming out on the Hillsboro side of things. So they'll get that plugged back up, and they'll also go ahead and kind of get him cleaned up with a little bit of cleanup there on the body as well. 5-6 is your score right now. Hillsboro leading. Just to recap so far what we've had thus far this evening, Hillsboro gets the first victory on the mats tonight in a lower weight class, and that was a 14-7 decision going to the Indians. Following that, Paint Valley gets the victory by way of pinfall in the next weight class that was contested on the mats. Hillsboro comes right back and gets a pin of their own. This the fourth match that we've actually had contested tonight here on the mats. We do have, once again, 3 rounds in this tri-meet. The tri-meet will involve all 3 schools going against each other in rounds. So in this first round, we have Hillsboro and Paint Valley. The next 2 rounds will involve McClain in some way. And it looks like they've got the blood taken care of here for the Hillsboro wrestler. So we'll be neutral as we get back to the center circle. Second period, 1:20 left on the clock here, 5-6. The whistle blows and we're back underway. Underhook for both. Hip toss. No control though. Paint Valley does a really nice job of getting the control on the mat, and he will get the 2 points. So now 7-6 for the Bearcats. Hillsboro rolls it back over. 2 points goes for back points, and then we get the reversal for Hillsboro, and we'll have back points going that way. So action, 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 9-8 as we go under 40 seconds here in this second period. 37 ticks left on the clock in this second. Hillsboro looking to gain control. Once again on top, he has an opportunity with that left shoulder, but unable to wrangle it down there to the mats. We have the escape now for Paint Valley, and we will get 10 their way, and a couple back points as well go to, actually we'll make it 3 back points to the Indian wrestler there. So 11-10, both wrestlers scoring quite a bit there. Big double leg takedown on the Indian side of things. Getting 2 more as the period ends, and we go into the third, 13-10. So action all over the place coming out of the blood time there. Third period getting ready to get underway. 13-10 in favor of the Indians right now as we go into the third. And 2 for the takedown to Paint Valley. Great job there. Drawing closer now. Has an opportunity. Hillsboro is very tired. Hasn't been on the bottom very much. Paint Valley looking to take an opportunity. Can he get both blades down? It's hard to tell. Fighting up. He's controlled most of this match, and Paint Valley with a big surge. Now the reversal. 3 back points and 2 the other way. We're knotted up at 15 now. Under 120 now. 115, 114, 113 left on the clock. Now some back points on the red side of things. Can he muscle down that left shoulder? That's been the nemesis all night on the mats. Has the hips. That underhook, his own hand, is what's giving him fits here. If he can just press down on the shoulder, he'll have it, but that underhook is keeping the distance between that left shoulder blade and the mat. He has the right. Can he get the left? And the pin comes with 37.1 left in the match. The Indians get the pin. What a great match there, as both wrestlers really giving it their all here at the tail end of that second period and really all the way through. Had a little bit of a stoppage due to blood time there for the Indian side of things, but really good match. A lot of excitement there. So we'll reset things and get ready for our next match here on the mats. Looks to be, I'm going to assume, 195. That's just eyeballing things. Once again, not really sure. We don't have any rosters up here. But we'll get things back onto the mats. First round is done on the junior high side of things, so we'll go ahead and cut the picture-in-picture. Probably should have done that a little earlier, but that's all right. Not hurting anything there. We'll have that back up once we get the second round going. Shot by Paint Valley, but able to sprawl and circle around is Hillsboro, so he'll get 2 points with control. Now getting some back points. Fighting, bridging, trying to use that momentum to get those shoulders up. Controlling now from the top side, and does get the pin in the first period. 1:19 on the clock, so the pin in what would be, 41 seconds, I think, if my math's correct there. So Hillsboro with back-to-back pins. So they've got 3 pinfalls on the night, if I'm counting correctly. Paint Valley with 1, and then 1 decision goes to Hillsboro here. Next match, uncontested. So Paint Valley gets the win by way of forfeit there. And we'll see what our next one is. This might be the 220 or heavyweight side of things. Both wrestlers very stocky. I'm going to assume this is 220 based upon the eye test here. We'll go ahead and reset our scoreboard here. So back at 0 for both. First period, getting things underway once again between the Bearcats and the Indians here in this first of 3 rounds. Takedown now for the Bearcats. Quick takedown there, 2 points for the green side of things. Now looking to cut him loose, and he does, so the escape back to neutral now. 2-1 the lead for Paint Valley. Tie up now, looking to get control. Single leg, throws the hips, gets 2 for the takedown. Hillsboro does a nice job getting back to his base. Now front headlock toward the edge of the circle, rolling him over now with the cradle. And he will get the pin. Really nice job there by the Bearcat wrestler. Had him on the mat. Hillsboro got back to his base, was able to roll him over right into that cradle, and gets the win by way of pinfall in the first period. Didn't see what time was left on the clock, but probably right around a minute or so there, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like that may be our final match in this tri-meet between Hillsboro and Paint Valley. Yes, it does look like that will be the final match between those 2 schools. Looks like, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be Hillsboro picking up the victory there, as they had a number of pinfalls. Paint Valley gets a couple victories by way of pin as well in the second match and then the last match that you saw there on the mats. So it will be McClain, and we'll see about the next team. Looks like Paint Valley's throwing on the warm-ups once again and making their way to the stands. So I'm going to assume it's going to be some FAC action here on the mats between Hillsboro and McClain. That's going to be my assumption, but we know what happens when you assume. Once again, we're here with you all this evening on Facebook with the McClain Athletic Department Facebook page. We are also live on YouTube, if that's a platform that maybe is easy for you to stream from and you're able to maybe cast that to your television, or if you have a smart TV with the YouTube app on it, feel free to jump over to that platform as well. That might be a little bit easier for you. We're glad to have everyone joining us. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on either platform. Looks like we're going to get McClain, and I'm assuming it will be Hillsboro, but we do have actually one more match. Okay, so things seem to be dying down there, but we'll get things back up and running for you. And this might be an extra match, maybe a non-scoring match. Not really sure. And illegal hold. So we have the whistle blown. Hillsboro gets the 2 for the takedown, but Paint Valley will get 1 point as the illegal hold is blown against the Indians. Hillsboro with control once again now. And they stop the action. They'll bring him back to the center. Paint Valley down. Hillsboro with control on the top, grabs the right ankle to push back down. Now gets the hips up a little bit further, working from the top, trying to get that penny combination going. Hips now on the right-hand side, looking to turn. Has an opportunity, but has the underhook. And once again, that underhook might be the detriment to the Indians. If he can just roll him over and push that shoulder, he'll have an opportunity, just forcing that arm. But has to force the arm back, and does, and gets the victory by way of pin. So first period, 36.4 on the clock. So what would be a minute and 24 seconds. The victory there, time of the pin. Not sure, looks like McClain's getting ready, but we'll see if we have any other excess matches here. Sorry about that from before. It seemed like things were kind of winding down and there was like a little bit of a lull. And for whatever reason, we had an extra match there, just getting things going. So not bad. Always good to get a little bit of extra wrestling here on the high school level on the mats in front of us. So it will be McClain now getting ready to take the mats. And they'll get things warmed up here. They'll get an extra time here to get warmed up. And so we'll allow them to do that. And while they get things warmed up, we do want to say once again, thank you for joining us here. If you are joining to watch the McClain side of things, they will be in action here. I believe it looks like Paint Valley making their way out into the lobby area, or maybe kind of locker room type area that's been designated for them. So they must have round number 2 off. Although Hillsboro doing the same, so I'm not really sure who's going to come back out. Hillsboro kind of stayed a little bit longer as the coaches were giving some words of wisdom just out of frame. And they make their way over to the junior high mats to kind of do a little bit of warming up, or maybe staying warm there for some of the weight classes that have already gone. So they'll continue. I do believe it will be FAC action between Hillsboro and McClain here in this second round. And so with that, we say thank you for joining us. We're going to go quiet for just a little bit. We'll let you continue to listen into the action taking place in-house. But for right now, I'm going to go quiet and grab a bottle of water so that we can get ready and be able to bring you these next rounds of action as McClain will take on Hillsboro on the high school side of things and on the junior high side of things. Thanks once again. We'll be back in a moment. And it looks like we'll get things back underway in the second round of things, as we'll have an FAC matchup between the Indians and the Tigers. Hillsboro and McClain going at it on the mats here on the high school side of things, as well as looks like the action will be going on the junior high mat as well. So we'll have that to you shortly, but that will be confirmed. Hillsboro and McClain in this second round. All right, so the action getting ready to get underway. And we'll probably, I'm going to guess we'll have our forfeits as we go through. They did try to get most of those out of the way in the earlier weight classes on the first round of things between the Bearcats and the Indians. But we'll see what takes place here if they try to get all the forfeits done or not. We will have some early round action, though. Looks like we'll have early round action. Tristan Nichols on the McClain side of things, and not sure the name of the wrestler here on the Indians side, but we will have some early weight class action for the Tigers. So since we have the Tigers in action, let's see what happens for McClain in this second round. Junior high underway now. Not sure the weight class. I can guarantee I haven't been that weight in quite a while, whatever it is. And we will have some forfeits. And the two wrestlers I thought might be going against each other as they were standing at the table together, both will get victories by way of forfeit. So not sure, but both teams, even thus far, no action on the mats except for on the junior high side of things in your upper right-hand corner. We'll see if we can possibly, I'm not sure if we can, but we'll see if we can maybe make that a little bit bigger for you here. We know that might be a little bit hard to see, so we'll go ahead and make that slightly bigger for you. And we'll move that up just a little bit. That might be better for those viewing this evening. Always something to get a little bit better at. So Lucas Jansen on the mats, the senior recognized earlier this evening. Tigers wearing the green ankle designator, and he will get the first couple points by way of takedown here. Controlling, has an opportunity here, doing a nice job keeping that ankle, rolling him over, keeping the ankle high now. Will probably get back points. Yes, he does. He'll get 2 back points as he's able to roll over the Indian wrestler. Indian wrestler now back to his knees. Jansen does a nice job maintaining control, picks the heel, pulls him down. 4-0 now. Your score in the first as we go under a minute now. 55 seconds remain on the clock as it ticks away. Jansen controlling and gets the pin here on about the 6 o'clock position on the mat. So winning in the time of 1:15 by way of pinfall is the senior Tiger wrestler there, Lucas Jansen, picking up the victory. So congratulations to him. And it looks like we'll have Riley Podorf, I believe. Yes, it'll be Riley Podorf, and not sure, once again, the name of the Hillsboro wrestler, but we saw him pick up a victory. He was actually the first victory of the night in that first round. Got a 14-7 victory, so he's got 1 win to his belt this evening. Riley going, does a nice job, gets control, and picks up 2 points. We'll go ahead and actually reset that. Hadn't reset from before, so 2-0 is your score right now. Just under about 25 seconds into the first period. Rolls him to his back, has an opportunity for back points for just a second. Can he get the 2? Yes, he does get the 2 back points there. The referee held him down, just seeing if it was going to be anything where he could roll him over and get another. Red will be down as control kind of went out of the mat there. So 4-0 in the first period. Potterf leads for the Tigers. Controlling still on the bottom. Does a nice job, gets to the waist. Has that kind of right ankle draped around the left of the Hillsboro wrestler there. If he can control that ankle, he should be able to keep him down on the mats and maintain control on the top. Once again, going to it again now. Lets him up for just a second, though, but capes to the waist. Back down to the mats now. Base still for the wrestler from Hillsboro. Probably a little bit tired from that first match he had earlier in the day, or earlier in the evening, I should say. Potterf able to roll him over, has an opportunity, and yes, he takes advantage, getting the pin in the first period. 39.4 remaining on the clock, so it'll be a victory in 121 by way of pinfall. 2 pinfalls back-to-back in the middleweight area there for the Tigers. All right, so we will reset this time. Back to zeros, and not 100% what weight class this will be. Let's see, I believe Jansen to be 148. Potterf, I believe, around the 155 area, if I'm not mistaken. So this probably 160s, I believe, area, or weight class in the 160s. And it'll be Landon Wheeler for the Tigers taking on the wrestler from Hillsboro. So first period now, 10 seconds in, both tying up and dancing. The wrestler from Hillsboro really keeping both arms in as they're kind of in that stand-up position, keeping those elbows nice and tight. Potterf gets an opportunity for a pick, grabs the right, doesn't take it, has to sprawl as there's a shot from Hillsboro. Grabs the headlock. If he can squeeze and turn the hips, he can get a takedown, but Hillsboro doing a nice job staying low. So Potterf will kind of sprawl, pull the arm. Hillsboro back to his feet. Potterf now grabs a foot. Might be to no avail as they're toward the edge. They will stay in neutral, right on the edge, and he does get the 2 points for the takedown as he circles around right on the edge. Now they kind of walk their way, tangled up back to the center. Escape now for Hillsboro, 2-1 in this first. 51, now 50 seconds remain on the clock in-house. Back to center, neutral position. Potterf doubles up. Hillsboro, hand on the back of the neck. Wheeler, I should say, doubles up. Wheeler had wrist control. Let's go for a second. Hillsboro with a chance, deep into a single. Wheeler stays on his knees toward the edge of the mat. He will get the 2 as the takedown, and they will make their way out. Referee blows his whistles. A little bit of action continues as they are both in the throes of the contest here, but Hillsboro will get the 2 points on the takedown as they push out right around the 2 o'clock position on the mat from our vantage point here in the gymnasium. So 2-3 right now, under 20 seconds. Now to be 17 on the clock. Wheeler down, Hillsboro with a foot. Can he gain control? He does. He gets the reversal. 2 points. Go to McClain with a chance. Not quite enough time on the clock. He will get back points, though, as he was able to control on the top there. So it will be 7-3 as we enter the second period, favoring the Tigers here. Landon Wheeler doing some work there toward the end. All right, so Wheeler will be down. Hillsboro the up position. they blow the whistle and get the second period underway here in McClain Gymnasium. Wheeler has one now wide base, looks to reverse and will reverse. So he gets the 2 there. 9-3 your score now. 1:40 on the clock here. Just getting that second period underway. Wheeler with an opportunity here to get some points as he controls. Underhook. Now it kind of morphs a little bit. Back to the mats. This wrestler from Hillsboro was in action in the first round, so he's got one match under his belt already today. 9-3, under a minute now. 55 seconds left on the clock as it ticks down toward the end of this second period. Wheeler controlling from the top. Now has an opportunity if he can get that right shoulder pushed over. Controlling with a chance. Official down on the mat seeing if the blades are going to touch. Needs to wrench it in, and he does, and gets the victory by way of pin for McClain. That's 3 straight pinfalls for the Tigers in this second round of action. Wheeler picking up the victory for the Tigers. So we'll reset things once again for our next matchup. And now we get to the point where I believe in the last round it would have been Hillsboro getting quite a few victories by way of pin. We'll get things going now in this next match. Not sure if I've seen this Indian wrestler or not. I don't believe. I think he was victorious by way of forfeit in the last one. And it'll be a takedown for the Tigers there. Circling around now, controlling from the top. Ethan Burns here for the Tigers. The escape goes to Hillsboro. Now ties right back up to Burns. Both in that hunched over kind of tie up position. Burns looks to have a little bit more control as he starts to wrench in that front, what looks to be a front headlock, looks to drag him down. The wrestler from Hillsboro trying to reach through and get a leg for possibly a single, but unfortunately puts himself in a bad position. Burns able to throw the hips, gain control. He will get the 2 for the takedown, and he's going to get some back points to boot. I believe they've counted off what looks to be 3 back points, if I'm not mistaken, as the official has a few fingers there on the mat. So here in the first, we're under 35 seconds remaining in this first period. Burns with control, looking to exhaust the Hillsboro wrestler here as he has an opportunity to possibly get the pin before the end of the first. 20 seconds remain. Still looking pretty well. He will get 3 back points. Hillsboro able to get back to the base, but a lot of energy expelled. Burns getting very high there, has a standing cradle. Will he have the control? Period ends. No excess points there. Burns rode a little bit high. We saw his feet get off the ground for a little bit. And Ethan does win the flip. He elects to go back to neutral and will lead 7-1 going now into the second period. So dancing in that tie-up position once again. Both wrestlers here as we start the second period in this neutral position. Burns grabs the head, front headlock once again, raking down, pressing the upper body onto the neck, trying to overpower. He'll look to throw the hips once he gets him down onto the mat. That seems to be, yes, he does. And he might put himself in a bad position here. Yes, he does. He puts himself a little bit in a bad position, and Hillsboro gets the points as he controls on the bottom. Now Burns will get the escape. So Burns just a little bit out of position there. Could have found himself in a little bit of trouble, but he's worn the Indian down from earlier in the first, now out as they push right out about the 2:30 mark on the mat from our viewing angle. Once again, junior high wrestling going on the mats. Braden Garrison for the Tigers right now in his weight class on the middle school or junior high side of things. Hillsboro gets a takedown on the high school mat, and it'll bring it to 8-5 here in the second period. 37, now 36, 35 seconds remain on the clock. Burns could get a double if he can power through. He does, but he will not get the points as the hold. So the hold deemed to be illegal. Not sure why the illegal hold was called there. I thought it might be the slam, would have been a slam by Burns, as he likely did not make contact first, but they say it was an illegal hold. It looked to be just a poorly executed takedown there. Probably had an opportunity for a single leg or a double leg if he could have walked through, but just decided to go the other way with it and try to throw him over. Second period ends much closer than it started. Started at 7-1, now it's 8-6 as we go into the third. Burns still leads for the Tigers. Red has the choice here in the third, and he elects to go neutral as well. So both wrestlers not deciding to go top or bottom. They will indeed go neutral for both the second and the third. Don't see that a ton, but it does happen. Burns with his headgear into his mouth has to be careful here, as it could be twisted around a little bit. It does stay on though. Burns now readjusts. 130 circles around. Hillsboro with the clutches in on the left leg. Burns the stronger wrestler thus far tonight, but finding himself in some bad positioning in that second period. Little bit neutral here for both. Burns has a chance. Hillsboro has a chance. Neither one. No points, as control being gained out of the circle. Burns is tired here. You can see it as he gets up and gets back to the center. Very tired and very frustrated that he's not been able to assert his will. So Hillsboro gaining that kind of second wind in the second period and doing a nice job here in the third, trying to control. Burns, who was the aggressor from that headlock position in tie-up in the first, now finding himself in that same position but on the opposite side. Underhook now. Burns throws the hips. Very nice move there, as he's able to throw the hips. Will get the back points, and both wrestlers just pretty well spent here as we go to 25 ticks left on the clock in the third. It'll be 10-6. Burns looking to finish the job if he can. If he can get the pin, it's just tough to tell. I don't know how much gas he has. 12 seconds, now 10, 8, now 6 and 5. Will he get it in the last few seconds? It doesn't look like that'll be the case. We'll go 2, 1, and done. They will get the victory, do the Tigers. Ethan Burns picking up the 10, and that make that 13-6 win by way of back points there toward the end. So a 7-point victory. Will be a decision there, but not a major decision. So good job there by Ethan Burns getting the victory. So seems like the middleweight classes have been dominated here by the Tigers. Everything else has been forfeit. And looks like we'll have things going once again here as McClain and Hillsboro will be back on the mats. We actually do have a forfeit. Not sure the weight class. I'm going to assume probably the 170 area. So back to the mats now. We'll go ahead and reset our scoreboard for this next matchup. It'll be Ethan Hill for the Tigers taking on the wrestler from Hillsboro. Looks like the junior high side of things is wrapped up, so we'll go ahead and pull our picture-in-picture off. Neutral position, trying to gain control. Hill gets a leg, trying to pull it in, a little bit out of balance and unable to lift higher. Now goes for a front headlock, reaches for the single, pulls down, now has control on the bottom, so 2 points for the takedown. Will likely get some back points out of this. I'm going to assume 3 by the count the referee's given. Now it looks like he's got 2 fingers down. The Indian back to his base here. Hill riding, dangling on, and he will get 2 back points. Does Hill escape going to Hillsboro as they relinquish their hold and go back to the neutral position here in the first period. Now 36 seconds left on the clock as we will tick our way toward the end of the first. See what happens here. Hill gets the takedown and some back points. Escape going to the Indians there, making our score 4-1 thus far on the evening. We got 20 seconds left here in the gymnasium. They kind of go back and forth between tie up and kind of feeling each other out in space. Hill goes to get the headlock, the front lock, gets a chance at a single, but once again, just a little bit too close, out of balance there, unable to lift up and take it. So he'll have a 4-1 lead, does Ethan Hill, as we move into the second period here in this second round of a tri-meet. Hill will be down for the second period. So Hill in that bottom position. Reaching through the 5-hole is the Indian now. Coming through the front door. Hill looks to reverse. Can he maintain control here? He'll at least get the escape. He does get the escape. Not able to get quite enough leverage to get the reversal, but does get the escape. So 5-1 now in the second period, 1:20 on the clock. Hill with the lead for the Tigers. Takedown now for Hillsboro as he's able to get Hill back to the mat. Hill once again in his base. The Indian wrestler headgear comes unsnapped, stays on the head, but it is unsnapped. So we'll see how long it stays in position. And the official will blow the whistle. Not quite sure if he was going to let him go on too much more, but headgear coming undone. They'll resituate that. So they do get a little bit of wisdom from their coaches as the equipment timeout is broken here. Now we go back to the action here. Second period, once again, 48 seconds left on this second period clock. Hill working at it, tied up with the Hillsboro wrestler. They dance around the ring, shot there, and sprawl by Hill as the shot comes from the Hillsboro wrestler there in the white and red singlet. 6-3 your score right now in the second period. Under 10 seconds now. Shot from the wrestler from Hillsboro. He will get 2 points here as the period nears an end. We're down to 2 and 1 and none. And the score sits at, oh, let me take a couple off. I think I hit the button twice there. 6-5 as we enter the third period. So Hill with the lead, 1 point lead though. And point to Hillsboro as they will just give the point for the escape, trying not to allow the reversal there. So 6-6 now as we start our third period. Third period underway, 15 seconds in. 6-6, all knotted up. All the matches that have been on the mat here in this second round have gone to the Tigers. Hill looking to continue that trend if he can. He's been fairly dominant, but Hillsboro getting a couple takedowns there toward the end of the second period, able to bring it to 6-5, and then gets the easy escape point as they go the choice of giving up the point and going neutral here in the third. So action pushing out around the 2:30 or 3 o'clock position on the mat. 6-6 still our time, or 6-6 still our score. Time left in the match at 1:03, now 1:02 in-house. Trying to gain wrist control is the Indian wrestler. Hill shaking it off. Now back to that tie-up, dancing once again. Both trying to pull down on the head. They break. Hill readjusts his headgear. Once again, trying to maintain wrist control. Shot for the single leg. Hill sprawls, they walk out, and no control gain. So back to neutral. 33.6 on the clock in the house. They make their way back to the center circle. We'll see if we have bonus time or who's going to be able to have that quick surge toward the end of the third period here. Hill readjusts once again, not feeling confident in the position of his headgear. That might be an opening for the Indian wrestler here. We'll see what happens. They pull in 16, now 15 seconds left on the clock. What's going to happen? Who's going to take the effort here as we go under 10? Now 8, 7, got to be a shot. Hillsboro looks to shoot, can't get inside quite enough. 3, 2, 1. And we are done with our third period, 6-6. And we will go 1 minute left. It'll be the fourth period. 1 minute left, the fourth period. So in the fourth period now. See if we can get that to change, and we could not. So we will just leave that be. We'll leave it on third. I think we can reset this. Let's see if we can make it happen. All right. We pushed all the right buttons that time. In the fourth period of action, 15 seconds here. Both wrestlers very tired. 12 seconds, 11, 10, under 10 seconds. Who's going to have it? They'll come back to the center. 7.2. This is where it comes down to practice. Where do you get those quick shots and points? Both wrestlers pretty well exhausted as we kick under 2, now 1, now none. And we'll make it the fifth period now. So once again, into extra wrestling time. Fifth period, 20 seconds now, 18. Hillsboro, if he can get control, has the points. Hillsboro will likely get the victory here. Okay, so now we go into the sixth. So unable to get control with that limited amount of time. We'll go into our sixth period. Extra wrestling abounds. 25 seconds on the clock. Hill had it. Cuts him loose. Costly mistake there with limited time. He's got to take a shot. Can he muscle him through? Cannot. Hillsboro, they say it's neutral. I'm surprised they're not giving the takedown. It looks like it'll just be a 1-point victory. Hill cuts him loose in the sixth bonus period of wrestling there. And it'll be Hillsboro picking up the 1-point win with extra wrestling action. So a little bit of fun as they were able to go 6 periods there. Probably not what either coach wanted to see, but either way, they are able to finish the match, and Hillsboro picks up the victory on that one. All right, and so we'll get back to the mats here. And it'll be the 195 side of things. Justin Kegley, the senior, will trot his way out to the mat, lining up on the green side. Kegley takes a shot, circles around, gets the heel, now gets the 2 for the takedown for McClain. Cuts him loose. Quick takedown, quick escape. Kegley with a shot, double leg. Controls. Once again, gets the takedown, cuts him loose. 4-2 in the first period, 1:22 left on the clock here. Digging down deep is Kegley for his third takedown. And once again, allowing the Hillsboro wrestler to get back to his feet. 2 points forward, 1 point back thus far. Kegley working on his takedowns tonight. Now trying to work on the top. He's gone to the legs a couple times. Kind of head bob shot. Now another opportunity for a double. Gets the double. Does Justin Kegley, the senior. 8 points now on the night, and he rolls him to his back, so he'll get back points as well. Looking to finish the job here in the first, though. 23 seconds, now 22, 21 left on the clock. Trying to muscle both shoulder blades down to the mat, and he does. Kegley, the victory for the Tigers by way of pinfall. All right. So another first period pin. Justin Kegley doing a nice job there, and we did hear announced during the senior night festivities not only Justin Kegley's name, but also Lucas Jansen, and you see Cade Rollins there getting the victory by way of forfeit for the heavyweight side of things. So congratulations to those senior wrestlers. If you missed that earlier, feel free after this is done, if you're still with us, or maybe you have an opportunity to come back and maybe view this, as it will still be up on our McClain Athletics Facebook page, along with our McClain Athletics YouTube channel. This will still be up, so if you did not get a chance to see our senior night festivities, we have 3 senior wrestlers on the McClain side of things that were recognized, and with that, you can play back either of those videos to the beginning. We were a couple minutes in. That way we could get some folks joining us there. But if you did not get to see the senior night festivities, feel free to scrub back to that or scroll back to that a little bit later and check that out as we honored our 3 seniors. We also were able to honor in-house. They didn't have them come across necessarily didn't have them come across the court between the 2 mats there, but they did recognize the senior wrestlers from Hillsboro and Paint Valley as well. Their names being announced over the public address system here in-house. A couple seniors from both of those squads. Hillsboro will be done for the night, so it looks like they will start to kind of pack things up. I'm guessing they'll probably hit the buses here pretty soon. Hillsboro did get the victory against Paint Valley in that portion of the meet. McClain getting the victory for the Tigers here against their Frontier Athletic Conference foes from Hillsboro as that second round of things was underway. A lot of those by way of pinfall. Hillsboro did pick up 1 victory on the night in the weight class. I think it'd be 180. I'm going to say, what's that, 187? I've got my weight classes a little bit off here. It's been a little while. But Ethan Hill and the wrestler from Hillsboro in the 180-something weight class, I think 187 side of things, did go 6 periods. So we had extra wrestling past the typically contested 3 as they were knotted up at 6. They went a couple periods deep without a score, and then Hill had the top position, and the wrestler from Hillsboro able to get the escape as he picked up a 7-6 decision victory there in that. So that the sole victory, at least on the mats, for Hillsboro. All the others coming by way of forfeit in that second round of things. So our last round in this try will take place between the Bearcats of Paint Valley and their wrestling squad taking on the McClain Tiger wrestlers here on the mat. We'll see which weight classes will actually be in action and contested, but for right now, we'll go quiet. We'll bring you a little bit of easy listening music, I suppose. I don't know, whatever's not going to get us kicked off of Facebook and YouTube, and we'll be back with the action here shortly. looks like we're about to get things back underway. So we'll have the Bearcats and the Tigers in this third of 3 rounds here on the mats. It's the team from Bainbridge taking on the team from Greenfield here. Battle of the Cats, Bearcats and Tigers as we get ready to go here on the mats. We'll also have our junior high action. Looks like we do have some junior high wrestlers, so we'll bring that back up for you once they get underway. Right now, getting a couple forfeits out of the way. Lucas Jansen, who picked up a victory by way of pinfall in his first match against Hillsboro, gets the victory by way of forfeit here. He trots his way off the mat. And it looks like it'll be Riley Podorf here for McClain in this first matchup against the Bearcats. Let's get it underway here in this third of 3 rounds. So Podorf and the Bearcat wrestler dance. Couple head shots. Judging the distance, Podorf does a nice job once he gets to the ground of rolling his hips over. Has the back, looks to his coach, trying to get a little bit of advice, and Coach Bevan says, yeah, you're fine. Continue going, so listening to Coach there. Riding on the back is Riley. Trying to muscle that upper body over. Not going to be able to do it with just the right arm. He does have his hips in a good spot and is able to control a lot with his legs. Now he gets to the top and uses all of his upper body to roll him into the back. And he will get the pin here in the first. 42.6 remain on the clock in-house. So a victory by way of pin in we'll say 117, 118, whatever that would come out to mathematically there. We'll reset our scoreboard. First match of the night contested between the Bearcats and the Tigers goes to McClain here as Riley Podorf is able to get the victory by way of pin. All right, so first period here now. We go to our next match. It'll be Landon Wheeler back on the mats. He makes his way to the scorer's table, making sure everything is set. Meets his opponent at the center, and they will tie up here in this first period, and we'll get things underway in that weight class. If I'm not mistaken, the 160 area. Once again, Paint Valley in the black, McClain in the purple. On the junior high side of things, you see that in your upper left-hand corner of the screen. McClain picking up the victory. Looked like, not sure who, might be Jet Watson there getting the win for the Tigers. I think it was. I think that's Jet Watson on the 8th grade side of things, on the junior high squad for the Tigers getting the victory. The Tigers will be wearing kind of a black singlet with a purple stripe across. Wheeler has the 2 points from the takedown earlier. Oh, gets himself in a bad position. Rolls too far over, and the reversal goes to the Indians. So he has to get to his base, now looking to stand up. Or not the Indians, I'm sorry, the Bearcats. Got too used to saying that from the last round. So all knotted up here between Paint Valley and McClain at 2 in this third of 3 rounds in this try match. Wheeler now gets the reversal. So put himself in a bad spot, but gets him back just the same. 4-2 now. Getting some back points. Has the cradle and the pin. Wheeler doing some work there. Made a mistake, but kept his head in the game. Or kept his head in the match, I guess, would be a better way to phrase that. And as a result, gets the victory by way of pin. Once again, this the third of 3 rounds in a tri-match. Paint Valley and McClain going at things. Thank you for joining us. If you've stayed with us all the way through, we do very much appreciate you staying with us, whether you're on the Paint Valley side of things or the McClain side of things, or even if you've stuck around and you're someone who's been supporting the wrestlers from the Hillsboro wrestling program. We say thank you for joining us this evening. It's been a great evening of high school wrestling, and we'll continue to have that go on through the remainder of the night here for you as Ethan Burns gets his second match underway for the night. He gets 2 points on the takedown. And we have 1:30 left on our first period clock here in this third of 3 rounds in this tri-meet. So Burns on the top, has the back position, trying to run that penny combination, rolls the right shoulder. Bridging is the Bearcat. Burns with his left knee across, now gets to what looks to be a full mount type position if this were like MMA style competition. But that kind of full mount high ride, and he gets the victory by way of pin. Just sprawls himself out, spread eagle there on the mat. So Burns gets a pin on the night. So he has a decision and a pinfall to his name. So McClain doing a nice job tonight in those middle weight classes. Forfeit now on the next weight class. Goes to Paint Valley, and now we'll have some action on the high school side once again as we go up a couple weight classes. And Ethan Hill makes his way out, looking to come back from what was kind of a marathon match, going 3 extra periods of wrestling for Ethan Hill in his first bout against the wrestler from Hillsboro. So you can tell that he's got a little bit less of pep in his step, but he's going to try to shake that off as much as he can, and he gains control early here as he circles around as they go to the mat and gains the control early. And I'm sure Coach Bivens has told him from that first one, you got to put away your opponent early. You can't let him float around and stick around into the match. Control and dominate was probably the message. And he gets the victory by way of pin, this time in under a minute. So congratulations there to Ethan Hill as he avenges loss from the second round of things. Congratulations there in his weight class for the victory. All right, so we continue to work our way up. It'll be the 195-pounders getting on to the mat. Justin Kegley for the Tigers. Not sure the wrestler's name from Paint Valley. Looks to be a tall, athletic 195. Just getting kind of toward the end of those weights where you really have wrestlers carrying their weight in a very athletic type of kind of posture and build. And both of these wrestlers in that same type of physique. They tie up, they break, judging the distance there. Paint Valley liking to kind of give a little head tap here and there, which, nice little strategy. Can be effective depending upon the opponent. Kind of be something to look at and have an opportunity to take a shot. They tie up and dance. Low back and forth. Not sure what that would be on the ballroom side of things. Maybe a samba. Perhaps a waltz. A little bit more contact on this side of things as they dance toward the right edge of the circle from our position. takedown goes to Kegley as they push out on the 3 o'clock position. So he'll get the benefits, or will get the benefit of 2 points. 46.3 remain on the scoreboard clock here in the McClain Gymnasium. Once again, this tri-meet between Hillsboro, Paint Valley, and McClain, only the black and gold and purple and gold remain in the gymnasium at this point, outside of the few fans that have stuck around to watch the remainder from Hillsboro. But we do say thank you to all of our competitors that were here on the junior high and high school side of things from Hillsboro. Always nice to have a Frontier Athletic Conference opponent in-house and see them. Kegley trying to maintain control as he was on the top position. Once again, toward that 3 o'clock spot. Arms around. He has control of his own wrist, but has to maintain. Out now again around the 5 o'clock spot. Back to the center. Kegley before looked to grab the ankle and drive down from a similar type of position. He now does grab the ankle. Bivens trying to, or Coach Bivens trying to tell Kegley pull back on the head, but not enough time to do that. So they will flip the colored indicator and it will be red. So Paint Valley getting the choice here. And the wrestler for the Bearcats will decide to take the up position. Kegley looks to stand right away. Coach telling him, don't try to reach back and grab, putting yourself in a bad position. Can't do that. Has to peel. Now turns. Action pushes out of the circle. So Kegley had an opportunity there, but just pushing too far out of the circle. Would have likely had the escape, although the clutches of the Bearcat wrestler are strong thus far here in the second period, just 16 seconds in. And the official blows him off for just a second. Now comes back. Kegley now gets the reversal. So 2 more points go his way. And a quick pin as he gains control on the reversal and puts both shoulder blades to the mat. So the 195-pounder, 2 pinfall victories thus far tonight. Looks to be the 220-pound weight class. Will be uncontested, at least on this side of things. The wrestler from Paint Valley that was just out a second ago did have a pinfall victory in his earlier match in the first round against Hillsboro. So now we go to our heavyweights. Cade Rollins on the mat for the first time in real action. Going against his counterpart from Paint Valley here in this heavyweight matchup. And it looks like we'll have possibly not only this heavyweight matchup, but maybe an extra heavyweight matchup, as it looks like Rocky Jeffers and one of the other wrestlers from Paint Valley also have the headgear on, and both seem to be in that heavyweight division as well. So we'll have 2 heavyweight matchups, looks like back-to-back. This one for the actual scoring. Rollins has a 2-point lead from the takedown earlier, and he'll get another 2 points as he gets the takedown with what looked to be a single or double leg there. Back to neutral. So Paint Valley will get the escape here. First period, just under a minute, 56 seconds as it is. McClain picking up a victory on the junior high side of things by way of pin in your upper left-hand corner just a few seconds ago. Be Connor Frazier there. He gets a congratulatory fist bump from his coach, Coach Barnhart. Coach Barnhart and Coach Smith on the junior high side of things doing a really nice job with those young wrestlers. Cade Rollins on the high school mat picking up 2 points by way of takedown, and he's able to control the heavyweight from Paint Valley and put both shoulders to the mat. Gets the victory by way of pin. 6-2 was the score at the time, but it doesn't matter what the points were because the pinfall comes just after they are awarded. And so we will reset. It looks like we will indeed have a little bit of extra action in the heavyweight division as Rocky Jeffers and his opponent from the Bearcats will trot their way out onto the mat. This likely our final match of the evening. It looks like all the other wrestlers from McClain have that were dressed, at least for tonight, have gone ahead and put the warm-ups back on, so I don't think we have anyone left to go still, so no extra wrestling in any other weight classes. And it'll be Jeffers and his opponent from Paint Valley here in this extra heavyweight matchup. Jeffers and his counterpart on the other side of things in the black singlet just kind of dance back and forth around that center part of the circle. First period, 1:23 on the clock. No real shots from either. Both looking to control with the upper body and possibly get the opponent out of position and be able to circle around. But right now, both of them content simply to just work back and forth, get back to the center, tie right back up. Now an underhook for Jeffers. Again, just neutral position, both kind of getting that underhook, hand on the back of the head on the other side of things. We go under a minute now. We're at 36 seconds. Bonus wrestling on the heavyweight side of things. Third round of this tri-meet now. No score thus far, 15 seconds left on the clock. No one taking a shot, so neither one really with a single leg or double leg game, or maybe not the speed to do such. Now a reach, muscling from the top is Jeffers. He will get the takedown, and the clock will stop at the end of the first, so he gets the takedown just at the right time, able to muscle over the Bearcat. The indicator does go toward red. Defers, gives the choice to Rocky Jeffers. He will take the down position. So the black singlet of the Bearcats on top. Reaching from the back door, now comes across, back to the back door. Jeffers trying to work his way to the edge of the circle, trying not to get his shoulder blades turned. No back points yet. Rolls him over, but out of the circle. So he does get the reversal. I'm surprised they gave that to him as action pushed out at the 12 o'clock position. They've been a little bit stingy as they get toward the edge, but they give the 2 points to Jeffers on that. It's 4-0 here in the second period. So 4-0, 1:30, now 1:28 on the clock here. Second period, extra heavyweight action. Still some action in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Looks like Daza Doherty in action for the Tigers on the junior high side of things. One of our female wrestlers, and that's one of the things that very impressed with from a lot of these schools around. Seeing the female wrestling side of things pop up and be that much more popular as of late is really a great thing to see. Not only does it add to the sport, but it's just an opportunity for us to see great athletes in action regardless of gender. Jeffers with control on the top. 2 points now to him, so 6-0 now as we tick under 30 seconds left in the second period. Rocky Jeffers has had control since the end of the first for the most part here. Trying to run that penny combination. Now trying to wrangle over, starts getting back points, but doesn't matter. The pin comes. Extra heavyweight wrestling ends by way of pin. All right. So really fun action here on the mats. It looks like the high school side of things is done, I believe. So it will be McClain picking up the victory there. They will win this try. We're going to kick over to our junior high side of things. Daisy Doherty looking to finish things off against her opponent. Really cranking it in. Has a headlock sitting out on the heels and gets the victory by way of pin. Does Daisy Doherty on the junior high or middle school side of things. Congratulations to her picking up the win there. All righty. So we've got junior high wrestling here for you on the main screen. Not sure how many more weight classes we have left to go, and to be honest, I'm not really sure what the weight classes are on the junior high side of things. But I do know they're still wrestling on that particular mat. High school wrestling ending for the evening. In the try, Paint Valley gets the victory over the Indians in the first round. The last 2 rounds have gone to McClain, as McClain was able to pick up the points against the Indians and the points against Paint Valley in that last round in this try meet. So McClain getting the victory there in the meet. Action on this junior high mat once again. We'll see if we can adjust things, see if we can pick up the scoreboard here in-house and bring that to you. Hopefully we can. See if I'm able to readjust there. Not 100% sure how good we'll be at it, but we'll try, see what we can do. All right, so that's about as good as I'm going to get. Let's see if we can get the picture-in-picture rolling here. And, well, I guess it's all for naught at this point because they're pulling the tape on both mats. All right, so that looks to be the tail end of our evening. It'll be McClain picking up the victory here in this try match, this 3-way meet. The Tigers get the victory over the Bearcats and the Indians in those matchups. Paint Valley gets the best of Hillsboro in the first round of things. We say thank you very much for joining us. Those of you that have stuck with us from the beginning, we know it's been a little bit of a longer night, I guess, in terms of the wrestling side of things compared to maybe a duel. But we're very happy that you were able to join us. We say thank you once again. If you or someone you know would like to see this again, it will remain on our McClain Athletics Facebook page along with our McClain Athletics YouTube channel. You're more than welcome to come back. If you missed any of the senior night festivities, we did honor the seniors not only from McClain but also from the other 2 schools. Congratulations to our seniors from McClain on their seasons thus far, and we do wish them the best as they continue to finish out their final year of wrestling action here at McClain. That'll be Lucas Jansen, Justin Kegley, and Cade Rollins. Congratulations to those gentlemen as they are kind of getting some pictures down to my right here. So congratulations to them. we're very happy for all of the work that they've put in thus far. It's been a great season for all three of them. I think all three of them now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Lucas Jansen and Cade Rollins, and I think Justin Kegley as well. I know at least two of the three at 100, or actually over 100 wins now, as Lucas and Cade got those a little bit earlier in the year. I think Justin is also in the triple digits as well. So congratulations to all three of them on a successful career and a great season thus far, and a good night here tonight as all three are able to pick up at least one victory on the night against their opponents here in this tri-match. For just your information, we will be live the next couple nights. If you're looking for some basketball action, we will have your boys basketball team in action here at home both Friday and Saturday night. Friday will be against Frontier Athletic Conference foe Miami Trace, as the Panthers will come into McClain Gymnasium for a matchup between the two Cats. And Saturday, we will see which Tigers will be victorious, as Circleville will make their way here wearing their red and white colors. So we'll have the purple and gold Tigers taking on the red and white Tigers of Circleville on Saturday. It'll be some exciting action here over the next couple nights. We hope that you'll join us here on the McClain Athletic Department Facebook page or YouTube channel. Other than that, I think we're going to go ahead and get things cleaned up. So for right now, we say good night, and as always, go Tigers.